Massive guard of honour as Ryan carries his daughter through the banner now and onto the ground, and the team follows. And a good guard of honour from the seconds players and also past players, and quite a few champions in that lineup, Lockie.
And I did get the information this week, Nobby. The amount of Loxton North players that have played 300 games is not as many as one would think. I think.
Can I have a guess?
Yes.
3.
No, it's a few more than that. But
I've got a guess up here. I've got an entrant. 7. How does that sound?
Let me just find the data quickly. Look, this 5-round football.
Well, the nearest entry at the moment is 7. 7 is an entry we've got from Barry Arnold.
So Ryan Pat becomes the 7th.
He's the 7th. Yeah. There we go. That's what he meant. Yeah. I think because he's on the ground. So he's the 7th. Hey, great day out here today. Not only for Ryan's 300th, but also because we've got the top 2 sides that I rate in the RFL, and the top 2 chances to bring home the cup. Not a bad day out here, Lockie. Oval in good condition. Some overcast clouds. The windsock is fluky from side to side, but it appears as though there's a scoring advantage to the primary school end. And just quickly, the previous 4 games today, Renmark winning the under-13s by about 4 goals, by 22 points. They also won the under-15s by 20 points, the under-18s by 28. But Travis Dubrick's Loxton North seconds came out winners in the B grade, 53 points to 46, a 7-point win in what was a very entertaining game, Lockie.
Yeah, it certainly was. And look, we must think back to last week. We were here last week as well. Loxton North took on the Waikerie Magpies, the current second place side on the ladder. Look, Loxton North really controlled that game for most of it. Maybe inaccurate in times, but took their chances when it mattered and won that game quite comfortably. Renmark, on the other hand, well, they took on Berry, the winless Berry Demons at this stage at their home deck last week, and they were pushed by the Demons. They had to work hard for that win.
Yeah, I had a bit of a chat to one of our favourite Renmark players prior to the game, Lockie, in Trevor Thorpe, who's a veteran of his own sorts. He'd be getting a few games up there too. I forgot to ask him.
I asked him. He reckons he's in the 280s.
Okay, so he's a season or so shy of 300 himself. And the way he's playing and the way he looks, he's got it left in him. Trev said to me that last week Berry they played a scrappy game of footy, which we've seen them there, and managed to keep Renmark in check for most of the game.
Yeah. Look, just quickly, some other games happening around the places. Both sides warm up. Still no coin toss yet, but let's have a quick chat. So Loxton take on Berry. That's at Riverland Football League headquarters in Berry. That is a very crucial match for the Loxton Tigers. If the Tigers have any chance of playing finals this year, this is a must-win.
Yeah, and not a bad crowd there. I called in on the way through to Loxton North so I could get a game plan, because I figured they'd probably sell out here, being a milestone game, and a lovely sign up out the front too for the milestone.
Yeah, Mark Lewis, brother of Scott, quite the talented sign writer, decided to obviously spend a bit of free time on Friday to create quite the masterpiece there.
Absolutely, and I did stop and take a picture and post it for our listeners if they were wondering what it looks like. Look, I had a look at things at Berry, and a good crowd, and you were thinking Berry could be a chance to get on the board there today against Loxton.
Well, I think if it's going to happen, this surely has to be their chance in quite some time. They're going to take on Loxton, who are a bit undermanned this week. They lost a few players to injury last week. Like I said, the pressure is going to be on Loxton to win it. Farmer and Monash at this stage currently hold that 4th spot by a game and some percentage. So for Loxton to make it the 4th, they need to win another game. Basically, that's how it works.
Speaking of Farmer and Monash, they travelled to Waikerie today in an arm wrestle there between those two sides. Farmer needing to win to stay in the top 4. Waikerie needing to win to stay in touch with the two sides out here today in order to keep the double chance alive.
Yeah, very important for Waikerie Magpies there. Top 2, but as I said, with Renmark hot on their heels, and result of this result of the games is really allowed to define.
I suspect that we're into that for a few weeks to come.
I cannot wait. Of course, next week there is a bye in Riverland Footy too for the Zone Championship, so it's very important for confidence going into that last stanza of the season to get a win, get some confidence and power through that last segment.
And given, as we discussed this morning, Lockie, that my seedings probably won't change much. I've decided to your 5, what I consider the 5 most important players to each team.
I like it, Nobby. Sides now taking their positions here. It is round 10. Riverland Football League action live from Loxton North this afternoon. Quickly, let's run through some of our early favourites for the goal of the day for Surf to Suit Loxton. Who are you thinking? Justin Proud for the Panthers, kicked 5 last week. Didn't get it, the trophy. But.
Interesting to say that. Of course, the 300 game of Ryan Proud is always a candidate for goal of the day.
Surf to Suit Loxton goal of the day.
I did have a bit of a chat to Ryan earlier and extended our congratulations from 5RM. And I said to him, any chance of you perhaps getting a handball or a goal back off Justin today? Because he seemed to play the perfect foil to Justin last week. Ryan attracted all the defenders and Justin made hay while the sun shone. Hey, look, other players from Loxton North who I think are a chance for goal of the day is, of course, the young, who's now playing second game, Kai Filkey, kicked a nice goal or 2 last week, and he knows how to get square of the pack. And also Caleb Coney, he's a good goal kicker. For Renmark, you can't go past Nathan Zunic, can you?
Absolutely. Got the sleeves on today too, which is fantastic. There it is, siren sounds. The first quarter underway. Loxton North kicking to the school end. It's Sherpick and Gartree in the right. Good tap from Gartree. Out to Harrison Brown. Ball doesn't move too far, and we'll get another ball up. Nobby Norton.
Yeah, talking about Ruckman, Judge Sherpick, and of course Zach Gartree. I think we're in for a treat here today. Watch these two go at their work. Good
tap from Gartree again, but it's Vumar that gets the crumbs. Oh, but Vaya read that well. Gets a good kick away for the Rovers. Now pushing half forward. Can the Rovers get the first inside 50? It's pushing. Good out for Josh Nelson from the Panthers. Out to Kudra. Finds Mason Eckerman, and the Panthers clear it out of defence.
Now, Lockie, we just quickly on the changes to the Loxton North lineup today. Scott Lewis back in, and Tom Eleftheriadis, and noticing, and Brad Beswick too back into the side. Brad being a replacement for Fletcher, who's missing today.
We have a hot footy, and the Panthers have taken the first inside 50. Alec Kudra, can he pick it up? It's a loose footy. Gets the crumbs out to Ryan Proud. The 300 game, he tackled, wheels around, kicks it out on the full. How's that for your first kick, your 300th game?
Well, I think there's a positive in that, Lockie. He has got boot on ball, and that's always good to get a touch early.
Yeah.
He's playing a fair bit away from goal here to start with today, right out on the half-forward line.
Just over a minute played on the Murray Pest Control clock. It is Riverland Football League action on 5RM. Just waiting for the ball to come back here.
Lockie, a very uncharacteristic not first grab by Alec Kudra. Normally he'd have had that ball been off and gone. Yeah. Do you think more pressure today from Renmark?
Yeah, it could be. Trevor Thorpe, the Renmark veteran, brings the ball back in. Gartree's a target, but good bit of intercept play there from the young Panther and Kai Filkey. And that's a win for the Panthers. They've taken that one out of bounds.
Yeah, Trevor Thorpe, a former winner of the 5RM football medal.
Absolutely. So a ball in, just outside the Panthers attacking 50. Gartree brought it forward. Scott Lewis tried to run through a wall, but wrapped up.
Gartree, the advantage at boundary throws where he can put his body on Judge Sherpick, but when Sherpick can get a bit of a run at him, gee, he can jump, and got his hand to that one too.
Yeah. Dylan Eltheriadis picked it up out of the contest, but it was intercepted there from Lelman from the Rovers. Finds Jared Rowe. The Rovers now getting the switch away very quickly. They have taken this ball from coast to coast, one side to the other. There's Zunic. Gets a good kick, slightly smothered. Rovers still trying to work this one forward. We're going to get another ball up, I reckon, just outside the Rovers 50.
Young Jack Meaney with the job on Jared Rowe today, and Rowe showed him a clean pair of heels there. He's going to have to get his runners on, Jack.
Zunic come away from home too. That's a long way from the goal square. So out of the contest. Can we get a kick away? No. Wrapped up again, and we'll get another ball up. Just scoreboard side. Loxton North Oval.
And that scoreboard, that aquatic weed control scoreboard, showing 0-0 at the moment. It's look a bit like a soccer score.
Austin took the ruck there for the Rovers. Trying to work this one out, and we'll get another ball up. Third ball up, Nobby, is the next one play on.
Yep, and Gartery setting up in the back play, across centre wing for Renmark. When the ball comes out, he's all on his own there.
Good tap from Sherpick. Panthers trying to get this one out. Working it up the western side of the ground.
Yeah, Meaney first to that loose ball, but couldn't break free of the pack to get it out of defence for Loxton North.
This is 5RM football, round 10 action on 5RM. Another ball up. Doesn't go too far. It was Kent in the bottom of that pack there. He was taken. He'll get the free. So Kent for the Panthers with the free, the back flank.
Now Gartery in the back play here as the extra down the line, which is where it looks like he's going to have to go with this kick.
Does what you said, Nobby. Kai Filkey unable to mark it, but managed to pick up the crumbs. Gets a handball out to Tommy Lefty. Mason Eckerman now he runs over the painted 50. Looks for Ryan Proud and Justin. No one was able to mark it. Justin trying to do the shepherd for Brian. And the Rovers have managed to... That was Rhett Perry, I reckon, there. Oh, holding the ball.
Yeah, good follow-up from Justin Proud. Put on the forward pressure and has won the ball back with a holding the ball free kick against Rhett Perry. I don't think Rhett was quite expecting that sort of pace out of Justin, but he is a quick mover.
5 goals last week.
I thought he might have just flicked that one out of the pack to Ryan, but he was sort of trying to hold Perry off it so Ryan Proud could get at it.
So Justin Proud kicking from 45 out. Fair angle. Looked right off the boot, but Gartry on the line. Crumb forward. Ryan Proud was there, and now it works out of bounds. 2 metres around from the goals.
It's a free kick. Ryan Proud will take this free kick in the forward pocket. It was a soccer out of ground. Plays on. Centres the ball.
Oh, tap forward from Gartry. Scott Lewis, snap on goal. 15 out.
And that's the first score on the Aquatic Weed Control Australia scoreboard, and that is a point to Loxton North. Early leaders.
Nice score.
Yep. Dangerous play around the goal square by the Panthers, but they couldn't quite get a clear crack at the goals.
So just over 5 minutes played on the Murray Pest Control clock. First quarter action. Rovers bring this one out. It's Matt Wolford. Oh, good mark there from from the Rovers.
Looking to play on. Comes wide to Harrison Brown. He comes up the centre wing for Renmark.
Looks for Austin. That was Dane, taken out of bounds. And I reckon they're swimming for a free kick, but it's going to be a ball in.
Umpires Golding, Grummett, and I think got Drugemeyer.
I reckon it might. Tap forward from the throw in. Oh, good. Coney gets it out to Kudrup. He kicks up to the half forward flank. There was a thought for the Rovers, but Dylan Lefty manages to read the play well. Looks for Justin Proud and a good mark. 15 out from the goals, not quite directly in front.
Once again, Ryan Proud working up the ground, up to half forward, leaving that space, leaving Justin Proud one-on-one with Rhett Perry, and already he's showing a little bit of dominance. What do you do if you're frustrated? Do you start moving the magnets already, Lockie, or do you wait?
Well, this is the Panthers' third inside 50, but still only one behind so far.
Okay, so you're saying you wait.
But that one made it a goal. And that's the first goal of the day on the Aquatic Weed Control Australia scoreboard to Justin Proud.
Who has started off today where he finished last week.
5 last week, 1 today.
Yep.
Barmer the week before, he got a couple. 3 games, he could be on for his average strike rate.
Well, hang on, here comes the commentator's guess, everyone.
It's higher than a Big Bash cricketer at the moment.
Hey, look, what it was quick movement of the football, clean hands at half forward, a left theory straight through that line, broke the line, and got the ball on the top side. There was only one person that could take control of that, and that was Justin Proud. It was to the right side of him. Good play.
Ball back in the centre. Oh, good tap from Sherp. He got it out to Worsfold, then finds Kudra. Kudra, another inside 50 for the Panthers, looking for a target. Harry Beavis spoiled it, found Thorpe. Still a hot footy. Oh, Dylan Lefty read it out of the pack. Shot on goal, minus score.
Gee, lively early left Hiriatis across half forward, giving the Panthers plenty of drive through that line.
So another minus score for the Panthers. That takes it to 1-2-8. Rovers yet to score.
Not sure I've seen Renmark under this sort of pressure since we saw Loxton take it to him in the first quarter up there several weeks ago, early in the year.
And Matt Wolford with the kick out, took as many metres as he could, tried to kick it over the 50. Coney couldn't mark it for the Panthers, spills forward, and I reckon the Panthers might lock this one in just outside the attacking 50.
Yeah, Caleb Coney having a crack at a Growers Services Riverland mark of the day, but couldn't quite bring it to ground, Lockie.
So ball up rather, didn't go too far, and umpire says he'll have it again.
This is a great ruck duel between the young Sherpick and the experienced Gardery.
Well, a bit of a one-all draw, but it's found its way to Ryan Proud. The 300 gamer looks up and a good mark from Dylan Lefty.
Very much a team game he's playing. You'd expect to normally see him much closer to goal. He's worked right up half forward. He's playing high half forward, and this will be this will be a goal assist if this goes through from Ryan Proud.
So Dylan Lefty, what's he kicking from? All of 45 on a 45-degree angle. Loads up.
Gives it a ride. Gardery getting back, gets hands to it, but couldn't bring it in for Renmark. Comes out to Worsfold, across to Eckerman, shovels out the handball yet again to Kent, tries to get around a couple, back to Worsfold in the forward pocket for Loxton North. He dishes out to Justin Proud, who couldn't quite get a handle on it. Handball back to Kent. Kent couldn't get that clear of the pack, and that'll be a ball up.
It's a hot potato footy for a second, wasn't it? Handball. Panthers probably didn't really have too many other options there, though. It was just trying to find some space.
Oh, it's good pressure by the Renmark defenders. They're playing one-on-one.
Not quite 10 minutes later on the Murray Pest Control clock. Ball up.
Good tackling pressure by the Panthers, giving Beavis nowhere to go in backlines for Renmark.
So another ball up. 20 out from the Panthers' goal. Gartree taps sideways, but well read from Scott Lewis. He was tackled without the footy. Play-on's the call.
Oh, I couldn't see that. He was unsided.
Still a hot footy. Panthers trying to work it more inboard. Rover defenders working overtime already. Another ball up.
Yeah, very keen contest around the loose ball.
So 1-2-8 plays nothing. Rovers yet to score. Gartree got the tap unopposed there.
Yeah, Sherpick sitting in the back play for Loxton North. So Gartree, the only on-ball ruckman up there, and probably not getting the competition from a left Theriatis that he would get from Sherpick. Gartree punches that clear of half-back for Renmark. Finds
Dane Austin, then finds Brown. The Rovers trying to clear this one up. It's not quite at centre wing.
Excellent pressure by Wesley there, by Adam Wesley from the Panthers to keep the Renmark defenders under pressure. But the ball comes up the half-back flank on the clubroom side.
Yeah, wild old kick out of that contest.
That'll be a free kick for Loxton North. That's gone out from a kick from Renmark.
The Panthers bring this one back in through Lewis. Just brings it sideways. Finds Josh Nelson. No player at all in Renmark's attacking 50. Josh Nelson kicks up the line for the Panthers. Looks for a target. No one able to mark it. The ball spills inboard. But the Rovers, through a couple of quick handballs, this is dangerous. They manage to stay alive and they clear it out. And there's Trevor Thorpe for the Rovers. Looks up the field, looks for a player. He's found one in Declan Johnson.
Excellent work by Johnson. Outmarked two opponents, used his body beautifully. Has handballed on to Dan Wolford, who couldn't get it in, fumbled it, and now that'll be a ball up at half forward for Renmark, going towards the primary school end.
The idea was probably right there. Get the ball on quickly while the Panthers were maybe catching up a bit, but needed to hit the target and be clean.
Yeah. Loxton North playing with more players outside the pack, backing in the few that are in there around the ball to get it clear of the contest.
Gartree, good tap. The Rovers now inside 50. Can they do it this time round? It's hovering around that mark. Johnson now chased the footy, but well done there from the Panthers. They managed to get there as well. And
that was a great hit out there from Gardery to Dane Austin, but he couldn't get the ball to an advantage.
Can the Rovers go inside? They will. They get a free this time, just outside their 50.
Tim Wolford, Willis medalist Tim Wolford, getting the free kick. Panther player hanging on to him.
Wolford looks to centre the footy, looks for a target. Getting closer to their goals.
Jack Oates getting his hand in the ball there, but couldn't bring it in for the
Lellman brings it back inboard and finds Vader.
He'll take a shot at goal.
The Renmark coach.
He knows how important this is for his team to settle them with a score.
He's going to be kicking from all of 50 minus GST.
Yep, so Loxton North currently on the Aquatic Weed Control Australia scoreboard, 1-2. Renmark yet to score, but I think that's about to change, Lockie.
Slide angle, what would you say, 15 degrees?
Absolutely no problem at all to a bloke of his skill.
Ball on the way.
Distance was off hands and through for a point.
That's their first score of the day for the Rovers.
Which now takes the score to Loxton North 1-2-8, Renmark 1 point. So So 7 points of difference on the Aquatic Weed Control Australia scoreboard. Josh Nelson about to bring the ball back in for Loxton North. Goes straight down the middle and finds Jack Opes, who dishes off the handball quickly to our left Theriatis Thomas, who gets it on the boot forward. In the Justin Proud region, on across half forward, can't get it out of the pack, will be another ball up.
So a ball up, 70 from Panthers goal.
Gee, they moved that quickly, transitioned it quickly. 2 kicks, it's in the forward line.
Kicking to the school end. Gartrey flew but couldn't get a hand on it. Still a hot footy. They're calling for holding the ball here, and he's been paid.
I'm thinking that's fair enough. He had a couple of steps to get disposed of it and couldn't break free of the Panther tacklers.
Well, it's Kent with the free kick for the Panthers.
Plenty of Rovers back in defence here. Goes short, looking for and unfortunately finding a Renmark defender on the chest.
I reckon he saw Kudra in the corner of his eye, but it was intercepted.
And the ball comes in the cross play to Dan Wolford. It's deeper in defence, chips it out to Beavis, still in the back line, still yet to get out of their defensive 50. Another disposal and still inside their defensive 50. Ball going to Morgan Edwards, who plays on.
So they went the switch and they brought it back in board. There's Zunic in the middle of the field. He's a long way from the goals. Was tackled, but I reckon it's going to be a ball up.
He's in for a long day. I think he's going to break free from Cody Boomart.
A handball for the Panthers. Takes the ruck unopposed. Coney was the target, but the Rovers defenders hold this one in and we'll get a ball up just inside the centre square.
Gartery down on the ground fighting for that ball at ground level. Handball into the ruck. Gartery had a hold of his Guernsey in that one. Handball a much different proposition than Shibik.
It's the free umpire says play on, you move too much, and Gartery manages to mark it.
Well,
pretty quick up that contest.
It's gave him just enough time to get in that play and then laced him out.
Small kick up, Dan Wolford. The Rovers on half back. Matt Wolford.
Where's Tim? We need the trifecta here, Lockie. I'm sure it's going to happen more than once today.
So, Matt Wolford with the footy on half for a touch.
Slowing play down for the Rovers. Go down the line.
He flew.
Yeah, fantastic. Back in the A grade. In place of Fletcher. And it started well. Dishes it across ground. Finds Kudra in the middle.
That could be a mark of the day for Grower Service Riverland.
Kudra takes no time in getting around Jared Rowe, driving it deep into attack, but only as far as Zach Gartery defending strongly in defence in the back lines for Renmark, who then tries to chip out. Worsfold getting it back to Thomas left there, but set him a contract. Here's Tim Wolford bringing the ball out of defence.
It's Zunic tried to soccer it forward, then tried to pick it back up, and
been pinged for soccering, for kicking in danger.
Yeah.
The umpire was allowing the ball to go on to see if there's an advantage. When there wasn't, he brought the free kick back.
So Kudra for the Panthers gets a free. Looks for Ryan Proud. He flew, unable to mark it. Beavis was out the back.
High tackle on him.
The Rovers will get the free.
Who goes? Beavis switches play into the goal, defensive goal square to Perry, who brings it out the other side. Now they're off.
Yep, finds Edwards. Edwards takes it up the western shoot. Another quick handball.
Found Nick Stockman, who quickly farmed it out, got the ball forward. Jack Opes holding up in the back lines for Loxton North.
Yeah, Austin was in there as well for those. That's not a bad lineup there. Actually, Austin and Jack Opes.
Jack Austin and the two Jacks.
Yeah, that's going to be, if that's how that stays this afternoon, I'm liking that already.
What, a Jack of clubs and a Jack of diamonds, you think? Yeah, in for a bit of a duel there, aren't we? Ball comes out to Renmark. They shoot it into their forward lines. Only as far as Beswick's best fist on it and follows up with a pretty brutal tackle.
Zunic runs into the open goal. There it is. First goal of the day for the Rovers.
Yeah, an absolute gimme. It was a bit unfortunate that you can see what happens there in a play like that. Zunic was at the contest and then just ran forward, in the hope that 50-50 that his team would get the ball and sneak it forward.
I like that confidence, though. You're right. It could have quickly been turned over and taken out of the attacking zone quite quickly, but you've probably got to take that risk at this stage of the quarter.
I don't think the risk is that big for a forward because the ball was deep in defence.
Yeah.
So even if it went out, it was only going to go out to centre wing. So it wasn't going to necessarily result in a score for the Panthers. But if it went his way, it was definitely going to be a score. We saw the...
That brings the margin now down to 1 point. Not quite 19 minutes played on the Murray Pest Control clock. So back in the centre.
Gartery having a rest on the bench now, out of ruck. So he went 20 minutes.
Now it's Brown through the middle.
Yeah, Renmark starting to do what they were renowned for. Oh, nice mark there from Zunic, a 2-grab mark, and that will be the Growers Services Riverland marker today. Turns around and farms the ball back into the middle. That's Tim Wolford, I reckon. Matt, is it? Matt's Wolford. Gone a long way.
Oh, small kick, looks for Rowe,
yeah.
And Rowe hits the target.
He has got a pace advantage on the defender there, and this time it was against Joel Worsfold, who was matched up on him, and not his direct opponent, but Joel had him, and Rowe probably saw the opportunity to get away as quick as he could. Now has a shot on goal, 30 metres out, almost directly in front.
On its way.
He likes it.
Looks all right. The Rovers are happy, and they take the lead for the first time today. Not quite 20 minutes played first quarter.
Look, the windsock hanging straight down, so I don't think there's much of an advantage in the breeze here, Lockie, at Panther Park at this stage. And they've really defied the trend of the previous games and scoring more at the town end than at the school end.
So interesting, for the best part of this quarter, the Panthers really have controlled a fair bit of the footy in there at near 50, a lot of it, but the Rovers, slowly but surely, just all's right, and it's come good just short of quarter time.
Yeah, interesting matchup in the middle at the moment, Kudra with Renmark coach Josh Bader.
So ball up, Gartery got it forward to Rowe, but that's about as far as it went.
Gee, Gartery didn't have much time off ground, maybe 3 minutes max.
He'd be one of the first players in the A grade in the league, I would have thought. Goes again, got a good tap forward, finds Brown, then a handball out to Lellman. Lellman's got a couple of metres, and finds Thorpe off the half-back flank. Kicks up, looking for Austin, that's Jack.
Nice gather.
Mitch Jenkins in there as well. Rovers trying to hold this one inboard. And just inside still.
Yep. Good play by Jack Opes from the Panthers. He didn't get sucked into the play, he just stood out. Austin beat him to the ball, was always going to get it, but he wasn't going to let him get past him.
So a tap back inboard. Scott Lewis read it well, but didn't get that far.
Lewis with Lellman almost as an extra person inside his Guernsey.
So tap and the ruck contest there. Gartery got a bit of an advantage. There manages to handball as well. Finds Lellman. Lellman bombs it into the attacking 50. Can they find a target, the Rovers?
Loose handball from Opes, but that'll come off.
And they somehow, through Shapley, the Panthers somehow cleared that one out. There's Lewis on the half-back flank. Finds Worsfold. The Panthers are now on the attack. It's Kai Filkey. Handball over the top looking for Coney. Coney was wrapped up and tackled. Umpire says play on. Then he was tackled again. And
interesting call that, because he was tackled plenty and was still free of the tackle when the whistle went.
So out of the contest now. Doesn't get too far. And just starting to hear the Panther fans warm up a bit this afternoon.
Yep, over in the Worsties Bar area.
Quite a popular place to be on a Saturday afternoon. 2-1-13 Rovers leading Loxton North 1-2-8. This is 5 football.
Look, some interesting duels, Lockie, around the ground. Even that one Lellman on Lewis is quite interesting, because Lewis very, very efficient with his ball use, his handball, and Lellman able to run off him a little.
Oh, another ball up. Just winding their clock down now. 22 and a half minutes played, first quarter. Getting very close to quarter time.
But that close, it's under a minute, Lockie. That's how close it is on the Murray Pest Control clock.
So it might be a bit hard for the Panthers to score, you would think, in that amount of time, but would hope that the Rovers don't get another one on them.
Here we go.
Saying that, it's in their attacking 50 now, the Rovers. Zunic manages to find a bit of space. He's given away a free, though.
Yeah, free kick going to the Loxton North defender. Is it Shapley?
Angus Shapley.
Yeah.
They're in the sleeves this afternoon.
Is that full sleeve Guernsey or the old skivvy underneath?
No, that's a full sleeve Guernsey.
And hello to Jim Pratt if he's listening in. If he's probably here watching one of his relatives play his 300th today, because Jim was the old skivvy underneath man.
Well, there it is. Quarter time at Loxton North. 5am football. The Murray Pesca Rock. It's the Renmark Rovers 2-1-13 leading at Loxton North 1-2-8. We'll go back to Trevor in the sideline view studio and find out what is happening around the Riverland this afternoon. Trevor, back to you.
Really standing out greatly, but Justin Proud's been doing some good work across half forward, as has Ryan Proud in his 300. Joel Worsfold doing his usual bit around the ball, as has Scott Lewis. And I also thought Dylan, the left theory artist, started the game pretty well for Renmark. Trevor Thorpe has been solid in defence and had plenty of time working on it. And then I thought Rose had a bit of it. Zunix went up the ground. Harrison Brown has had quite a bit, and of course Gardery in the ruckman is in ruck is probably leading the way in ruck.
So back to the centre. This is 5am football this afternoon live from Loxton North. Loxton North had a fair bit of the foot in that first quarter. They'll be kicking to the town end, Renmark to the school end. Some interesting scores around the place too. Waikerie taking the lead in their battle against the Bummer Monash Roos, and the Loxton Tigers still here for business, Snobby, as they currently lead the Berry Demons.
Well, I hate to tell you, Lockie, but I did think they might rebound.
So umpire Golding with the footy in the middle, and we are about to get this quarter underway. And there it is. Siren sounds. Good to go, Nobby Norton.
Oh, lovely hit out by Gartery, straight to Tim Wolfwood. Handballs out and the ball thumped forward into the hands of Declan Johnson. Has a shot at goal from 45 metres out and straight through it goes. I wonder how many seconds that one took. 19 seconds and not quite 20 seconds. Gee whiz, we've nearly got the record. Was it 18?
It's 19 and 20, I reckon, the last couple of weeks. That's about the quickest we've had, but
That's
that was
3 times at a broadcast game with a goal after a break in under half a minute.
That was almost training drill-esque, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Tap from perfect centre clearance from the Rovers. Quick handball out, one kick, and then Declan Johnson runs into the goals. Slots it from 50. Yeah, really probably what a goal of that contender.
I reckon that is safe to seat Loxton Golladay on the play.
So ball back in the centre. Can the Panthers wake up after that little shock? There's Coney, tries to mop it up out of the crumbs, but Lemon for the Rovers manages to clear it out. There's
Tim Wolfwood making the difference.
Gets a handball
in the
to Vader. Vader in the centre square. He kicks up good inside 50 kick, and there's going to be a free
kick. Sherpick, unfortunately, he roughed up the Renmark coach a little bit after he kicked it. It was more late than a bad tackle. It's just a little late.
So, goal sneak, Nathan Zunich's going to get the free. He'll be kicking for goal 25.
kicking from on the 50. So, yeah, I don't think distance will be a problem, but this is a pretty difficult place to kick a goal from here at Loxton North.
Rowe screaming for it, but, and they've...
Vumard cuts it off.
Yeah, great
Loxton
intercept mark.
Captain Vumard chips in, takes the mark deep in defence for Loxton North, brings it out to this Ryan Proud working right down the ground into defence. Gee whiz, he's come to play today. Come to play the team too.
So Proud on half back. Taking it up the eastern side. Spills over the back of the contest. Manages to get a wild on handball out. The Rovers trying to hold on to this one. Wrapped
North,
up and
North
tackled.
running in
now
lines.
North on the attack. And they've got the flotilla. It's like the city to Hobart. There's yachts everywhere, and one of them's name's Alex Kudra. Alec Kudra, handball off. Yeah. There's Kai Filkey. Goal of the day for Surf to suit Loxton. There it is, Nobby Norton.
Yeah, it is Lockie. And you know what I liked about that play? You saw Loxton North. There was 4 of them running in a line. Basically, you'd think if it wasn't football, you'd think that might be rugby league. They were running ready to pass it out. And very clever play by Kudra in that he didn't spend the ball until he had to. He waited for the Renmark player to commit and then shot it over the top to Kai Filkey, who used his pace to get there. Before that play happened, I was starting to wonder about the role that Loxton North are using Kudra in today. He's been a lot more defensive-minded, and I'm not sure if that's how it's worked out, but I'm not sure. I like to see him run and gun. North look dangerous when he's out cutting up the packs.
So the margin now back to 5 points. The Rovers still lead. They win the centre clearance, but it doesn't go too far.
Lovely play by Kent. Chased the ball back, knocked it free to Lewis, who handballed to Kudra, and Loxton North have worked the ball to their half-forward line to Thomas left there out, and that'll be a ball up.
Tommy Lefty rocking a different haircut this week.
Sherpick getting hand the ball in that.
Oh.
Vader coming out with it. I don't think Grummett saw it. Yes, he did. It was a high tackle. Yep. Oh, sorry, it wasn't Vader. It was Mitchell Jenke.
Yeah, Mitch Jenke with the footy on the half back.
Gartery comes wide trying to drag a player, but comes down the line to Jack Austin. Oh, Vumard all over him. Ball out to Sherpick, who chips forward and finds Kudra, who is off. Handball to Lewis. Lewis looking forward for Justin Proud. Renmark player just dropping in and getting a hand to that.
That was Edwards again.
Yeah.
He's been in the action this afternoon.
Left Theriatis he's all over the ball there. It'll be a ball up in the Loxton North half-forward line. 30 metres out from goal.
So a ball up. Dylan Lefty took the ruck work. Ryan, Justin Proud, both in there. Kudra's in there as well. Trying to get this footy towards the boundary line, and it's taken over. And I reckon the Panthers are calling for a kick here. But I think we're going to get a ball in.
Do you know the pressure from the Loxton North forwards is telling in this quarter? It's creating opportunity.
Just 9.5 minutes played, second quarter. Kent out of the ball in, read it well, but didn't get too far. And that tackling pressure, Nobby, there was a pressure gauge to be increasing rapidly.
Yep, and it's coming from players like Tyson Kent.
Good tap from Guthrie in the ruck, but didn't go too far and wrapped up again.
There's a bloke no one ever gets away from. Probably one of the shortest blokes on the field, but I'll tell you what, you don't get away from a goal whistle from Loxton North.
Guthrie, big tap.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter how far he's tapping it, but the Panthers are managing to work a way to hold this one in.
He's dangerous in the middle when they got a setup, but around ground not quite as dangerous.
Going bigger again. Manages to get it out to Edwards.
Oh, nice work by Eckerman. Won the hard ball. Got it across to Lewis, who found Joel Westphal. Quickly the handball comes out to the captain in Vumard, who shoots the ball forward. And on the lead, Dylan Letheriatis. Handballs back to Lewis, who drives it looking for Proud.
Justin, there it is. All the Rovers are working hard, and they managed to... great
nice
smother there from Kudra.
Oh, and a gutsy mark. Thomas Letheriatis stood under that high ball. Look, that 1% from Alec Kudra. That's what changes games of footy. That smother and the ball going back to Tyson Kent, who has now found Thomas Letheriatis. He stood under a high ball, took a courageous mark, Lockie. I'm thinking maybe the Growers Services Riverland mark of the day almost. Can he finish that good work?
It was gutsy. And he slots it.
And he has. He's finished that work.
But the Panthers with the last 3, they take the lead by 1 point. We've got a game on this afternoon at 5am football.
Yes, we have, and it's almost throws everything else out the window because that hardly much was scored up that end in the game we saw in the seconds. A lot of shots were had, but not a lot of goals were scored. Loxton North quite accurate here. They seemed accurate, 4-2 to 4-1.
Well, 5 goals scored in this quarter already.
Yep.
And just over half of it, and that's more than the first quarter added up.
Look, for those people wondering why we came to Loxton North again, this is why.
Absolutely.
It's a great game to watch.
It was never in our minds where we were going this week.
We want to bring you the best of Riverland footy, and here we are.
Well, it's not mediocre game of the day, it's game of the day.
Yeah. Shepherd getting up there and breaking even Gardner on that, getting a hand on the ball and pushing it Loxton North's way, but only as far as another ball up, another scrimmage.
Some dark clouds starting to roll in here this afternoon too. We're going to see a bit of rainfall today.
Well, won't be too much. Tap out Worsfold again, winning the ball around, shooting it forward. Out the back is Dylan left the area this time, but couldn't get a handle on it. Renmark defenders outnumbering Loxton North at half back. Ball comes out from Matt Wolford, shoots it across to Harrison Brown, onto Lellman, who finds Vader on the wing. Vader cuts in and drives. All smothered. Ball smothered there by Cody Vumad.
Ball just outside the Rovers 50. They're trying to scrap this one out, but umpire says my footy.
See how dangerous Renmark are when they get that ball moving. Loxton North can do the same. Sherpick up, gets a hand on it that time.
Harrison Brown manages to find Vader, but Vader was wrapped up by Joe Worsfold.
Do you think there's a bit of a focus on Josh Vader today by the North midfielders?
Not that I'm seeing too much, but watch that one. Now, there's Vader, manages to clear it out, and I'll be on cue. Dan Wolford now, quick handball to Trevor Thorpe. Thorpe from 48 metres out. That's a screw punt if I've ever seen one.
Looked a bit like a 9-iron, but it had a bit of twist on it. Maybe he's trying to draw it back, but he sliced it out of bounds on the floor.
It was like his audition for the Green Bay Packers.
You'd think he was looking for time.
It was a bit of NFL action there. It went out of bounds on the full, if you want.
Yes. Yeah, free kick to be taken by Angus Shapley from Loxton North. He finds Jack Meaney ridden into the ground. Couldn't quite get there. They've set themselves a task here, Loxton North. Ball coming out to Mitchell Jenke, who tries to centre it.
Oh, great bit of defensive play there.
Hang on, he's hurt
Beswick.
himself. Beswick's come down on a knee.
Ooh.
Not looking good there behind the goals.
He went hard at that footy to punch it through for a behind.
He's not getting up too quick.
Ooh.
It's either a knee or a quad he's pulled. Oh, he's up on his feet.
Up. I think he might have hit his knee. No, he's still on there.
You know, he's up moving. Maybe just a stinger on his leg. So Wilson brings it back in from North from the point.
In all of that, the Rovers managed to get it behind, so the scores are level.
North trying to take Renmark on up the middle, which is Renmark's turf. Oh, nice work by Vmud. Sticks out a mitt, cuts off a certain forward entry from Renmark. And there we have Dylan Petch copping one high in the back lines. No, it's not Dylan Petch, it's Shapley again.
So Shapley with the footy, brings it wide to Vomard. Vomard bringing this clubber aside.
2-on-1.
A great mark from Trevor Thorpe from the Rovers.
Thorpe is having a great game. We like him anyway.
Calling for Trev. And
Shapley again on the ball. Ball coming out from Dylan Leftheriadis. Out to Jack Oates, who spots up Alec Kudra on the wing. Kudra shoots it out. Finds a North player out in that far side, and it's Eckerman, isn't it?
That's Eckerman, yep.
So three possessions, but still inside their defensive 50, Loxton North. Drives the ball up the line in front of Worsty's bar.
No one able to mark it.
Big Hamps getting a hand on the ball.
Oh, great tackle from Kent. Now Joel Worsfold with the loose footy out to Kudra. Kudra puts the rockets on.
He's gone.
Handballs to Coney.
Wants to give it back to
Coney
him.
Shakes the tackle. Kicks into the 50. Justin Proud the target. Great mark.
Yep. He relishes a bit of space in a one-on-one contest, Justin Proud, doesn't he?
Certainly does. Got a bit of speed, like deceivingly quick, deceivingly fast. Might not look that quick out there, but
he runs to the right spots too. He always runs to an area where if the ball's there, he's the only one that can get it.
Justin Proud, ball on the way. It looks right off the boot. And thank you very much, he says.
That's his second goal for the day. Gee whiz, his accuracy's pretty good, although he had plenty of practice last week. 5 goals and about 4 points last week.
The Panthers have slotted the last 4 this afternoon, and they take the lead again. 5-2, plays 4-2 on the Aquatic Week Control Australia scoreboard.
Quality game of Riverland football.
I love it. There's no breeze whatsoever out there today. Overcast conditions.
Grand final preview for me, Lockie.
They say the Riverland might not be the most ideal time, but this is our time. Here at Loxton North today.
Why wouldn't you want to be up here?
Absolutely.
Watching this.
It is 5RM football Saturday afternoon.
Handball taps it to himself, tries to click it out of the middle. But who should get their hands on it but Jared Rowe, who drives Renmark forward to the half-forward line to find Lellman, who was... No, it wasn't Lellman, it was Harrison Brown, who actually got tackled by Josh Nelson. Mark that one down. Josh doesn't do a lot of tackles. Could be his first this season.
We'll check the stats in a minute.
Normally he finds... over to Matt Wolford, who drives Renmark forward again. Out comes Jack Oates.
Loose
Cody
footy.
Vumard with the ball. Ooh, cut off.
Intercepted.
And smothered by Jack Oates. A bit of a comedy of errors here.
Dane Austin
Kent
was the
brings
one
it
that
out.
had that kick for the Rovers.
Kent brings it out to Shapley, who's besieged by Renmark opponents. So here we see the opposite happening. Renmark Rovers putting on forward pressure and keeping the ball inside their forward 50.
I like that new word this afternoon, Nobby. It was besieged.
Yes, it's today's word.
Oh, brilliant. I want to hear it more. So the ball now deep in the Rovers' attack, but the Panthers with it. There's Beswick. He's calling for players. He's trying to clear it out. Looks up the line.
Back on 2 legs, Beswick, and seems to be moving very well.
Lellman, the 9-iron into the 50. Josh Nelson out the back of the pack, manages to read it well.
Shoots the handball out towards Shapley. Got a hand on it before it went out of bounds. That'll be a boundary throw in at the half back line for Loxton North, or half forward inside the forward 50 for Renmark on the gliding club side, the aeroplane club side.
Model Aero Club. No model aeroplanes today, Nobby.
Which is good.
Disappointing. Well, we wouldn't mind that.
Lewis taking that ball full flight out of ruck, but couldn't quite get a disposal to effect. Renmark again shoot the ball forward. Interesting tussle there between young Jack Meaney and his opponent. It wasn't Zach Gutty. It was who did we have there?
Just trying to see who's on him. So
I reckon it was Declan Johnson.
Oh, yep. So
yep.
Jack Oates out of defence, looks for Wesley. Wesley got a kick just, but he was wrapped up and tackled. Umpire says holding the ball.
Oh, I wouldn't mind going to the snickometer for that. I reckon it might have just touched his boot, but he was a fair way away the ump, so good call.
Brody Rove now with the footy for Renmark. Outside the 50, kicks over. Looks for a target, no one able to mark it. Handball out, Jared Rowe in the pocket, makes the angle harder. Handballs back. Mitch Jenke kicks wildly to the top of the square.
Almost.
This is high-pressure football this afternoon, 5RM footy.
Look, a series of one-on-one contests there that were all halved, hence no score, but the ball back 15 metres out from the Renmark goal, directly in front as the ball goes up. Through comes Rowe, gets his hand on it, but couldn't get free of the pack.
So just short of 20 minutes played on the Murray Pest Control clock, given the 5-minute warning.
Up it goes again, this time 20 metres out from goal. Who comes out with a Worsfold? Uses the ball to Vumard. Vumard on to Kent. Kent with a handball to left Theoratis. Shoots it over the top to Kudra, who had a man standing right on him. Renmark take the ball back. Dan Wolford shoots it forward, towards half forward, towards Dane Austin. Couldn't get a handle on it. That's off hands and out of bounds in the forward line for Renmark.
So we're going to get a ball in here. See the young boundary umpires here bring it in ball to Nobby, which is what we're all for. More goals.
Repeat entries by Renmark here. Will it result in a score?
Thomas Austin wrapped up, tackle, done.
Took too long. Tried for the third option instead of the first, and as a result couldn't get the ball clear.
Give us credit. He was looking for a target.
Oh,
no one was
sure.
really presenting, so he sort of had to wheel around. But
Cody Vumard crosses the ball to Beswick in the goal square. Beswick brings it out wider to Meaney. Meaney on the half-back line. Shoots it up the wing. Finds Kudra on his own.
Beautiful kick under pressure from Meaney.
Yeah. Oh, Kudra, this is the dangerous kick.
Oh.
Back in the middle.
It's a hot footy on half forward for the Rovers. Kick in board from Harrison Brown.
Oates working back, takes the mark on his own in the back lines.
There's a fair bit of kick and hope going on from both sides this afternoon.
No, look, this is the way Loxton North play. They play a dangerous footy all the time to come up the middle. You live by the sword, you die by the sword.
And we're seeing another switch here. Yeah, you're right. Both teams aren't.
Yeah.
Was picking North, not scared to take on some very risky
It's
plays.
a test of your skills. If the skills come off, you're out there and you're gone. You're off the goal straight down the middle. If it doesn't, the opposition can hurt you just the same.
So a ball in, just on the Rovers 50. Ball brought forward, didn't go too far.
I'm thinking around stoppages, North probably back on top, particularly around ground. Renmark a bit dominant in the centre square, but Loxton North seem to be much better. Nice work by the big fella there by Hample. Intercepted the ball, shot it out to Coney, wasn't it? Coney clipped it forward.
Proud with the footy, that's Ryan.
Yep.
Looks for Justin. Picked it on the half volley, one hand, one bounce over the line, and seeing a little bit of a scuffle here.
Look, I reckon this game by Ryan Proud today is something that Renmark wouldn't have been planning on. They'd have been planning on seeing him close to goal and we can lock him down. He's actually come upfield a couple of times behind centre to get possessions to drive his side forward. Great. It's the Ryan Proud that won the Murray Pioneer Medal in the 2013 Grand Final at Loxton, where he picked up 40-odd touches all over the ground.
So ball up. Good tap from Gartree. He did that unopposed. Scott Lewis trying to mop it up. He got a handball out to Eckerman. Eckerman wheels kicks but finds Lellman from the Rovers on half-back.
Who is playing a significant role for the Rovers as well, on ball and behind centre.
You'd have to say he'd be in their top 5 at this point.
Yep.
So another hot footy. It's Dylan Lefty on half forward for the Panthers. Finds Tom Lefty. He went to ground and now it's the Rover in Trevor Thorpe. Manages to find Vader.
He's off.
Vader, good kick up the ground. Looks for Zunic. They all flew up, but no one marked it. Ball over the back. Can the Rovers make something out of this? A handball back to Tom.
Dan Wolford couldn't get it out.
Dan Wolford, tackle, high tackle I think we're going to see here.
Yeah, it was there, but Nick Stockman made sure the ump never missed it. Back to Vader, who goes past, dodges 2, shoots out a handball.
Wild kick on goal, but
Kudra back there.
And you'd have to say the Rovers butchered that.
Yeah. I think the other thing they underestimate is how quickly Kudra can make ground and get to that space.
Where the position that Vader was when
Should
he
have
handballed that off, he
Should
was
have
well
shot.
and truly in range.
Should have had a shot. But that's the sort of player Josh Vader is. He's a team player, tries to bring others into it.
So the Rovers now with a free. They bring it back in. Good kick from Mitch Jenke, but minor score.
Yeah, skinny side.
So that brings the margin down to 5 points. North still lead.
Gee, it was an interesting game, isn't it? Great game. You know, you're almost starting to think, will fitness come into it?
Seen that a bit this year, haven't we? So Dylan Petch for the Panthers brings it out. Oh, and they're going to get a 25-metre penalty. I wonder what that's for. Was it for?
I think Zunic never came back far enough off the mark before he played on. Petch will drive it out towards the wing.
Good mark from Vomard.
Gee whiz, he dominates at half-back, doesn't he, for the Panthers. So important to them, not only holding up opponents, but trying to provide that drive off half-back.
Takes it wide, finds Dylan Lefty back to Vomard. Now back to Dylan Lefty on half-back. He's playing himself into this game very well this afternoon. Finds Kent on the wing.
Who was gone
forward
before he had it.
Manages to get a handball on it. They were tackling him at the same time, but there it is. Half-time.
Ken even had time to pull his shorts back up then before he ran off.
32 plays 27 on the Aquatic We Control Australia scoreboard. Home side Loxton North lead. Let's go back to the sideline view studio and find out what is going on around the grounds with Trevor Scott. Trevor, what have you got? thrilling first half of football. Panthers early jump, but then we saw Renmark respond, and then the Panthers came back in a big way after that, kicking the last 4 to be leading at the major break. Nobby Norton, it's a thrilling game of Riverland football.
It's an excellent game of football, Lockie, and I hope those people tuned in on iHeart getting as much fun of it as we are. Hey, look, interesting you said that, Lockie. Loxton first goal of the game, Renmark then the next 4, 2 in the first quarter, and then the first 2 of the second quarter. And then Loxton North answered with the last 4 goals to take the lead. So they turned a 5-point deficit at quarter time into a 5-point lead at half time. But the game, like we said, is anyone's game. Some interesting bits of play there. Goal kickers first. For Loxton North, Justin Proud with 2 singles to Kai Filkey, Tom Eleftheriadis and Scott Lewis. For Renmark, 2 to Nathan Zunic, singles to Jared Rowe and Declan Johnson. Better players for both sides in no particular order. Alec Kudra has been good. The captain, Cody Boomard, solid. Justin Proud with his 2 goals. I thought Angus Shapley did a fair bit in defence for that quarter for Loxton North. Ryan Proud's worked up ground from the forward line for opportunities. Tyson Kent, the vice-captain, and his co-vice-captain, Joel Worsfold, both influential around the middle. And I thought Lewis has done a little bit, always efficient with the ball, which makes the effort look a whole lot better than his touches. And I think Dylan Eleftheriadis has had his moments. For Renmark, also well spread. I thought Trevor Thorpe backed up his first quarter effort with another good quarter. Josh Vader's been dangerous around the ball. Probably misspent a couple he wouldn't be happy with, but don't expect him to do that too much more in this game. Jared Rowe's been good. Nathan Zunic with his 2 goals. Thought Lockie Lellman's done a bit, mostly behind centre. Harrison Brown had some touches early. Tim Wolford has had some key positions in the middle ground, holding the ball going forward, goals being kicked. Zach Garvey, the premium big man on the ground, giving both the Loxton North boys in Hempel and Judge Sherpick something to chase around. Can he do it for the whole game? That's the question mark. And I thought Declan Johnson, who's kicked a goal and looked very dangerous up forwards, another that's come under my notice. But look, no standout dominant player in either side. I think it's teaming effort. And by and large, I think Loxton North, okay, they're 5 points up, but I think on the one side, they're all forward pressure and the ball's in their forward lines.
Certainly are, Nobby. Look, an interesting contest as you've outlined. Where is the game going to be won for you, Nobby? Look, Loxton North, for me, they're taking the game on in a very aggressive manner. It's always a risk-taking, up the middle, not afraid to switch it across play.
It's how they play.
Taking the game on. Renmark still trying that structured play off half, but it's almost being unravelled a little bit by the sporadic nature of the Loxton North lineup this afternoon. I'm not going to say Renmark are rattled at this stage, but maybe not going quite as planned in recent times.
Rattled, far bit of the right word, Lockie. I think under pressure is what I'd say. Under pressure at times around the ground. I think Loxton North probably could have made a little bit more of their possession ascendancy, in that I think Loxton North are better in the stoppages around the ground and are putting on more pressure on that half back line, on that Renmark back line, so they don't get the easy movement out of defence into attack. But in saying that, I think Renmark look very, very dangerous out of the middle, stoppages, centre bounces, and once they do get to transition that ball off half back, they do move it very accurately without any error to the forwards. Interesting look at the teams here. Both teams back on the ground. Loxton North doing the normal run around together, warm-ups and that. Renmark doing some sprints off half forward, all lining up and doing some sprints. Is this a bit of a penalty for being behind at half time, or are they trying to say, yeah, that much? Look, we're going to spend a few here just to make you know that we are very fit.
They call it a dynamic warm-up these days, Nobby. That's the scientific word for it. Yeah, you're right. Loxton North, very much traditional. A few boys stretching out the calves, a few pretending to do a few stretch. You would have been the pretend stretcher, wouldn't you, Nobby? You would have just, gone through the paces.
Lockie, I'd be still in the change. It's making it. I'm doing up my boots, wandering out just now. Just before when I heard that second siren go, that's when you'd see me turn up.
This is 5RM football this afternoon, live from Loxton North.
Mind you, in saying that, never pulled a hammy.
Very true.
Didn't move fast enough.
Both sides still having their final chats. It must be said they are taking their time this afternoon. Timekeepers getting a bit restless in here at Loxton North.
Earlier game scorage for those they might have just joined us. Renmark winning the under-13s by 22 points. 15s by 20 points and the under 18s by 28 points. They took quite a couple of victories. The second held on 7-point victory over Renmark, which is a very good game of footy. But today here we have the main game, locking on the Aquatic Week Control Australia scoreboard before the ball goes up to start the second half. We have Loxton North 5-2-32 leading Renmark 4-3-27 by 5 points.
It is a thrilling contest this afternoon and a couple of close games around Riverland today too. Loxton holding a lead over Berry at Riverland Football League headquarters, and the big battle at Wakeridge this afternoon. Barbara Monash and the Wakeridge Magpies, a very close contest.
What's going on there?
It was less than a goal in it, I reckon, in the last score I got through. So look, we will be following that this afternoon here at 5RM football. That's for a sec once we get to the third quarter underway and football. It is round 10. Loxton North hosting Renmark Rovers. Looking forward to a big second half. Rucks go up. Good tap from Gartree to Harrison Brown there for the Rovers. Got a handball, but it was intercepted already. There's Coney for the Panthers. He got a wild handball out. Eckerman was the target. Spills forward and wrapped up. We'll go again.
Yeah, interesting. Started like the first quarter did Lockie tight contest.
Very true. Gartree and Sherpick go up. Sort of spilled to no one there. Josh Vader for the Rovers puts the Rockets on. Kicks up into the attacking 50. Looks for a target. But Shapley for the Panthers, the defender.
I've liked his game at halfback.
Wolford now. Rovers back on attack.
Look at the closing speed of Kudra there.
Ball taken wide. And there's Kudra again. He's getting a few possessions this afternoon. Worsfold. Looks up, finds Kent. Panthers now kicking to the school end. Finds target. Still in the
gets the ball back. Kent runs to half forward on the 50. Shoots it in long to Justin Proud. Almost down the mark. Ryan Proud off the ground.
The 300 gamer.
Gee, look at him get around him in his 300 game. Listen to the horns around the ground. Would you say the most, maybe not the surf to suit goal of the day, but certainly the surf to suit most popular goal of the day?
I think if there was a public vote, that'd win goal of the day from the home fans. And the Panther fans are waiting all day for that one.
Yeah, great play by Tyson Kent there, who won the hard ball, dished it out, and then ran past his teammate to get it back and drive it deep into the forward lines and give Justin Proud that one-on-one contest, which enabled him to get the ball out. And Proud Ryan, not Proud Justin, was on site to dob that one through off the ground.
Back in the centre, Sherpig and Gartree again. Now Scott Lewis wheels through traffic, gets a handball out to Kent. He was tackled, got it away, but holding the ball.
Yeah, and that's the way the Panthers play. They don't care how close their opponent is to them. Could have run through the mark there, getting away a 25-metre penalty. He ran between the mark and the player with the ball taking the free kick. Age-old rule, one of the first rules. Matt Wolford drives the ball into the forward line and finds Zunic on a lead who couldn't bring that ball in. Had an airy.
Yeah, it went straight through. Leg buys. No, not even leg buys, just buys.
Handball out of the pack from Wesley, who does the hard work. Ball turned over. And we see Dan Wolford with the ball of half forward for Renmark. Looks up in the middle, finds Tim Wolford, who looks wider, and finds Trevor Thorpe drifting down from half back on the far side wing. Can't get on with it fast enough. Guy Hilke has run him down.
Wrapped up and gone.
There we go.
Advantage played. You heard the call from the umpire. Ryan Brad with the mark on half forward, and there's a bit of a scuffle. A little bit of a defensive play.
I don't think that'll bother Ryan Proud. Harry Beavis would want to know he's in a contest there, but unfortunately couldn't get the ball, get any players back. Jake Anspach for Renmark intercepts that, shoots it out to Harrison Brown from Renmark on halfback, who looks up and finds Dane Austin.
He's out of the footy this afternoon.
Yep.
Young Rover defender. Working hard on half-back.
Nowhere to go. Play on.
Kicks up the line. A couple of Panthers underneath, and great mark from Cody Vomar, the Panthers captain. He brings it in board quick. Finds Coney. It's Caleb today.
This is where they turn the ball over too much. Over to Wolford. That is Dan to Tim. This is where Tim does his damage across the middle of the ground. Does use it well. And finds.
That is Austin.
Thomas Austin drifting up from half-back. He will go back to Wolford.
Wolford with the footy.
Over to Thorpe.
Thorpe, another possession this afternoon. Looks up to half-forward and a good mark from Dane Austin. He's working up the ground now. Ball still 80 from home for the Rovers. Play on to the call. Kicks up to the top of the 50. No one able to mark it. Got a couple of bites at it. That was Jack Austin.
Oh, nice intercept by Mason Eckerman. Shoots out the handball. Over again to Kent. Kent finds a bit of room to move in. Shoots it up to Kai Filkey, who gets a hand on it. Very important touch. Ball gets loose to Kudra, runs through the wing, looks up. Set Justin Proud. Too much of an assignment there, and across came Brodie Rover to punch the ball out of bounds in the forward line for Loxton North.
It's probably been a 50-50 there between Rover and Proud this afternoon. Justin, that is.
Yeah, 2 goals, I think, puts Justin Proud just in front for me.
So a couple of good balls of late for young
I think Rover
Brodie
was just chipping in there. I think Beavis is his direct opponent, Lockie, at the moment.
So a ball in, just inside the Panther attacking 50. Spills forward to Kai Filkey. Yeah. Kai gets it to the top of the square. Ryan Proud, can he make a goal number 2?
Not quite. Typical manoeuvre there by Ryan Proud. Bodies player in under the ball.
Oh, the umpire just saw a bit of a late little push there, and there's going to be a 25, and there's got another one. Yeah, okay. They're big on the language these days, and there might have been a few words being said.
Yeah,
so
come on, let them get on with it.
I think it was Justin Proud that gave away the initial one. Don't know about the second.
Yeah, they don't need advice, umpires.
Oh, the Rovers waste no time and take it wide.
Nick Stockman over there on the half-forward line for Renmark. Punches the ball forward and finds Rowe.
Rowe with the footy.
Still 2 kicks from goal. For my liking, Lockie.
Kicks up, spills it back, no one was there. And the ball, Panthers are ruling it.
Like a legitimate disposal, but I think the umpire ruled that the ball was knocked out in play, so I can go with that.
Ball spills not far from the initial contest, and we'll go again.
Hard fought, 2-goal lead to Loxton North at this stage on the Aquatic Weed Control Australia scoreboard.
Yeah, just over 6 minutes played on the Murray Pest Control clock. And we will go again. So a ball up inside the Rovers 50, but the Panthers managed to punch it out. Dylan Lefty trying to take this one out further, but he was stopped, and we'll have a ball up just on the edge of the centre square. Rovers are now kicking to the town side.
Again.
Didn't go too far, and pressure around the footy this afternoon. Loxton North 6-3, leading the Renmark Rovers 4-3.
Carter, you having a fair influence on the ball in there for Renmark? Ball coming out, but Thomas Austin unable to get that ball clear of the pack. Tackled hard by Worsfold, and the ball will be balled up again.
Gartrey and Sherpy, good tap from Gartrey, found Thomas Austin, then they gets it out to Vader.
Love
Vader runs over the paint at 50. Shot on goal. It's looking alright. And that is a goal of the day for Surf to suit Loxton.
Excellent handball, who was travelling past, who kicked a 40-metre goal to the town end.
39 plays 33. The Rovers still trail. I think we do have a score update from Waikerie this afternoon. They're playing Barmah Monash. Trevor, what have you got on that one? Thank you, Trev. That could be an interesting game this afternoon, Nobby, if that were to go the way of the Barmah Monash Roos.
Yep, goal apiece here at Loxton North in this quarter, and the margin still only 6 points, out from 5 points to 6 points in Loxton North's favour on the Aquatic Weed Control Australia scoreboard.
Yeah, just under 8 minutes played. It's the quarter. Sun starting to peek through a little bit here at Loxton North, but still quite overcast. Ball didn't make it too far from the centre circle, and we will have another ball up. Bit of direction out there from a couple of senior rovers calling for a bit of defensive football.
They're coming with a handball to Coney, taps it on towards Westfold, couldn't quite get the bounce. Gets it back, shoots it back out to Coney, who looks up and finds the left area out, so couldn't quite bring it in. Down the corner, here we got Ryan Proud, couldn't quite reel it in.
Takes it over the boundary line, and Trevor Thorpe for the Rovers will get the free. Wesley at the right idea. He kicked it up.
Long way behind play. And umpire's not sure whether Ryan Proud got a hand on that. I thought from here that he actually just didn't quite bring the chest mark in, and it was just handballed. It wasn't handballed over, it was just rushed over the boundary line. And it will be in the forward line.
I know for a fact Ryan would be saying that he got a hand on it even if he didn't. I know that for sure.
Here's Kai Filkey with a ton of pace. Gets the ball first, gets it across to Kudra. Back to left Theriatis, turns around, and I tell you what, hit the post.
Oh, that would have been the goal of the day.
That was the Loxton goal of the day, and would have been hard to beat in the clubhouse, Lockie.
So a minus score for the Loxton North Panthers.
Matt Wolford brings the ball back in for Renmark towards the halfback flank.
Doesn't go too far.
Dan Wolford took possession of it, but it was met solidly by Tyson Kent.
So
out comes Harry Beavis with the ball. Couldn't get clear of the pack. Nice hit by Gartery straight to Harrison Brown. Harrison Brown, and he couldn't break clear. Gartery again looking for Vader. Vader with one hand on the ball only. Worsfold weaves his way clear. Handball to Lewis, who's sitting at the back of the pack. Looks up and hits Kai Filkey, who made the space. I don't know if anyone else would have got to that.
A beautiful running mark, and it could be said a mark of the day for Growers Services Riverland contender there, Nobby.
It's typical of the way Lewis plays. He knows how fast you can run. He puts it in front of you so that only you can get to it. And he knew Kai could get there, and he has. He's taken a nice mark. Well, will shoot from 45 metres out directly in front. Already has a goal today, Kai Filkey.
The place was electric last week after going number one.
Didn't make the distance. Through comes Wesley Adam that time to force the ball into a contest.
Now in the pocket.
This is what I was talking about with Panthers. Are not giving too much to the Renmark defenders so they can rebound.
Trev Thorpe got the crumbs and couldn't work it out. And another ball up in the pocket.
Gary right over the top of that pack as Sherpick sits out of the forward lines in the back play. Gartery gets it on his own. Dishes it out to Dan Wolford, who looks up and comes out of defence. But who does he find? Tyson Kent. Or is it Cody Vumard?
It's Vumard.
Cody Vumard.
Yep. Vumard plays on. Kicks it into the attacking 50. Looking for Ryan Proud. He flew, but unable to get a hand on it.
Gee whiz, he was looking for the for the Growers Services Riverland mark of the day. Ball comes wide to Austin. He's having a great quarter, Dane Austin, for Renmark. Looks up, goes to a one-on-one.
That's Jack Austin. He soccers it inboard to Zunic. Zunic wheels back around, does the 360, look into the centre of the field, and finds a teammate in Jenke. Jenke chips it over the top to Dan Wolford. Dan just holds station and says, I'm going to go back and have a shot. So the Rovers have gone coast to coast in all of about 8 seconds there.
Do you know, early in this quarter when we were looking at the ball up in the middle, and I was watching Renmark switch it a little bit, but they didn't quite take the risky kick. They were a bit more measured in their movement of the ball than Loxton North. Loxton North just hurried quickly onto it.
This to bring the margin down to 7 points. It's on its way.
Down to 1 point, I think, Lockie.
Oh, sorry, it is to yes. My apologies. One point is the margin.
Which is 2 goals in a row to Renmark to cut that margin back to 1 point. Gee, we've got a game, haven't we?
Certainly do. It is game of the day.
Wolford covering a stack of ground. He was down here in front of us and copped a pretty heavy tackle by Tyson Kent and two plays, 2 kicks later, he's on the receiving end in the forward line, kicks the top. You got to work. You just got to work against both of these teams. You can't give them that kick.
So 6-4 play, 6-3, Loxton North lead by 1 point. This is 5RM football. Nearly 13 minutes played in the Murray.
Straight to Vader.
Vader, well played.
Looks up.
Finds
and
Rowe.
laces out Rowe.
Centimetre perfect.
I would imagine
precision.
I would imagine that if you're at the Rovers Oval on any training night, you might see that play.
3 taps. Gartree, Vader, Rowe, bang.
And
Can we see the goal?
And that's what I was saying at half time. That's where Renmark looked dangerous. Centre bounce clearances.
Jared Rowe, 45 out, 45 degree angle. Looks good off the boot. Minus score. Scores the level.
I was just about to say that goal kicking today has been exceptional from both sides.
So a minus score for the Rovers. That brings the score to 40 apiece. The Panthers bring this one back in and find Lewis in the pocket on the far side. Scoreboard looks up to half back, but the Rovers managed to intercept it and looks like they're going to have another crack back inboard, and they're starting to look very dangerous today. Here's Jenny got in a room
on his own.
So now trying to work this one.
By Shapley again. Great work by Shapley.
Handballs out to Tyson Kent. Kent goes back inboard to traffic, and then Vumard, the general of defence for the Panthers, looks up. Kai Filkey was the target. Punch forward, taken out of bounds. We might have an update from Trev in the studio. Trev, what have you got? Yeah, running very early down there at Wakery this afternoon, or are we in late, Nobby?
We had a half-time break and a little bit of a run through the barrier and everything to start the game. Might have started a little bit late. Dan Wolford gets the ball across half forward, looks forward and finds Rowe again.
Rowe chips over the top, looks for Johnson. Johnson marks, and he's going to go back for a shot, and this will give the Rovers the lead.
This is looking dangerous, Loxton North. Dangerous in the fact that players are running from behind the ball from the Rovers and getting clear, and no one's chasing them down.
What's scary too, the Panthers slotted 5 straight goals, 4 in the second and the first one of the third. Since then, nothing.
Yep.
Johnson on his way. Kicking from 35 out. He looks happy. And they're getting around him. Put his name on the list of goal scorers. He's already got one.
Yeah, that's his second goal for the day. And 2 in a row to Renmark. 3 in a row to Renmark. 3 in a row to Renmark. Which is what we saw in the second quarter. Into the first, start of the second.
So a big third quarter so far from the Rovers.
So they 5 point deficit up to 8 point lead halfway through the third quarter.
Conditions still no different at Loxton North. It appears the town end is scoring end for whatever reason, which would, I mean, you're looking at what's going on. There's no breeze whatsoever to speak of.
No.
You wonder how that's even possible.
Look, some telling possessions taken in this quarter by Dan Wolford and Josh Vader. Where we go?
Umpire's called something here.
Someone's inside the line.
Rovers going to get the free here too.
Yeah, North player inside the line. Headball to Lelman from Gary. Lelman drives the ball forward. Too wide to cause too much damage, although first to the ball. Jenke again.
Wheels back inside. Looks for Zunic over the top, but missed him. Doesn't matter.
Dane Austin had a great quarter.
So Dane Austin from the pocket. Going to take his shot. He's on a fair angle here. Only probably 2 around from the boundary.
Yeah, it's not a bad area to kick a goal from here at Loxton North, though. It's not as deep a pocket as you think.
Clubroom side.
Especially if you've got a little bit of a draw in your driver.
A few players leading for the footy, but says doesn't worry me. I'm going to have a crack anyway. Dane Austin.
Oh, left footer too.
Ball on the way. Oh,
out of here.
And the Rovers extend that lead further.
Gee, for a left footer, that was a pretty good goal. Working its way into the podium for the Surf to Suit Loxton goal of the day.
So 8-4 Renmark Rovers leads Loxton North 6-4 on the Aquatic Wing Rugby scoreboard. Just short of 20-minute mark of the third quarter.
Yeah, where's it going to go from here? North need to answer.
Well, the Panthers look flat, really, don't they? From that five goal in a row haul to have a reasonably comfortable lead, to see that evaporate.
So the question, fitness.
Could be.
Back in the centre. Ruck. I think it's Gartery in the ruck. He's getting a fair bit of it and giving him first look. Here we go. Here's Kudra out on the wing for Loxton North. Drives it forward, but high forward. We've got Ryan Proud.
Looks up, punch forward. Tom Lefty trying to chase this one down, but there's more Rovers and Panthers. Rovers still trying to work this one out. A couple of wild handles.
Pressure by the Loxton North forwards. What's kept them in the game for as long as it has, Lockie, and they need to maintain it.
Out of bounds.
Good umpiring by Mac Brummett there. Ryan Proud was pushing and Beavis was holding the Guernsey, and it was playing on. You're both in it, boys.
So a ball in just outside the attacking 50 of Loxton North.
They need to answer those 3 goals from Renmark.
Goal here, vital. Punch forward. Scott Lewis tried to read it. Dribbled it forward.
Handball from Jenke. No, from
Brown.
Austin.
Wrapped up. And I think we're going to go again here.
Yep. Vader. Eckerman with Vader. And also Kudra with him, but he still gets hold of it, Vader. Yeah, almost, that's the play. You almost want this Gartery to Vader play at the front. This time Harrison Brown target. Eckerman grabs hold of the ball over to...
Oh, great kick from Joe Worsfold. Finds Dylan Eleftheriadis. Wheels back inside to centre it, but...
Chopped out by Matt Wolford at half-back for Renmark.
He read that well. Renmark, very dangerous scoring from a centre clearance.
Yeah.
But once it sort of goes away from that, it's where the Panthers sort of come into their own, like this sort of stuff.
Here's the bloke that's doing the damage, Lockie. Zach Gartery. He's putting on a bit of a big man class here today.
Got the footy on.
Not saying the Loxton North boys aren't having a go. He's just playing so well.
Down on half-back.
Jack Austin, who's been well held by Jack Opes.
And now they work it through Edwards, through the centre square. A great mark from Vumard on half-back for Loxton North. Goes wide to Kent on the far wing.
They need more from Kenny again. He's given them plenty, but they need his breakthrough.
Trying to find a
that's
target.
That's a mark. Yeah, that's a good mark by Eleftheriadis there.
Licks it on quickly and looks for Ryan Proud.
That was a really clutch mark at centre half forward. Grower Service is really in contender for mark of the day. He stuck his arms up and he wrestled that ball down. And then not only that, he turned around, used the ball beautifully to Ryan Proud, who'd made a couple of metres on his opponent.
So here we go. Ryan Proud, the 300 gamer. Can he slot another
He likes it.
He's kicked a few of those.
Gee whiz, I'm not sure if he's kicked one as important as that one in recent times, Lockie. Very important to the game.
They bring the margin back down to 1 goal.
With 3 minutes left to play in this quarter, that was important. Renmark was starting to get in the ascendancy. So the challenge here now for Hampel in the ruck in the middle is to try and gate Gartery in this next bounce ball up. And for the rest of his teammates in there, being Worsfold, Kent and Kudra, to at least make sure that Vader and Tim Wolford don't grab a possession here and use it, because they are dangerous with that football.
As it stands, Rovers about
well done goal. By Worsfold. The ruckman and intercepted it. Look at that, that's better.
That's Coney. Coney on the 50, plays on quickly, looking for Ryan Proud. Renmark got a hand in there and spilled it forward. The Rovers try and clear this one out. Oh, Hampel didn't hit the target. Can the Panthers make the most of this? Wolford now for the Rovers.
Good use of the ball by Matt Wolford. Backwards to Jake Anspatch, who looks out of and finds Tim Wolford on the half-back flank.
He's just saying, hold station.
This is where a little bit of experience around the ball. They just don't give it back.
That was Patch for the Panthers that was sitting under that.
I'll tell you what, that was a courageous effort by Petchy to stand in under that ball. Almost mucked it, but took the tackle, and that comes away with the free kick. Right on the half-forward line for Loxton North, so he'll drive it deep into attack. No, he clips it off hands, And who should grab it but Gartery deep in defence and pump it out.
But it's the Panthers now that try and work this one back in. And this is where we've seen the Panthers
Oh,
work
what a
well.
good handball out to Kudra.
Oh,
This
he tried
time-
to take on too many.
Josh Vader wrapping him up there and saying to him, I've got you, Alec, and I'm going to have the free kick for holding the ball against you.
You can get away with something a few times, I'm told, Nobby, but sometimes eventually you'll get caught.
Critical tackle by the coach. He has to lead the way. Had Kudra got around him then, what would that have said to the rest of the team?
So Wolford, that's Matt with the footy on half back, and he's just saying hold station because we're just going to hold on to 3/4 time.
Up goes Shapley, first to the ball in defence for Loxton North. He's played pretty well across half back. Interesting you note that, Lockie, that they're using the ball. They're just slowing it down a little bit, Renmark. Just trying to hold it up till 3/4 time.
Ball in, pushes forward, doesn't go too far, and we will go again.
Big quarter by Joel Worsfold this quarter. You saw him get involved in the middle there, intercept that ball that was going from Gartery to Wolford. Here we go, Wolford taps. This time Kent will intercept the ball.
Getting very close to 3/4 time on the Murray Pest Control clock.
Kent shooting out the look-away handball and looked away, and so did the teammate it was going to, and it went out of bounds. Renmark will take the free kick.
North can't let Rovers score a goal here. If there are any hope after 3/4 time. There's Zunic now with the footy on the 50. Looks back and finds Austin.
Who gets on with it? He's on.
It was Thomas.
Yep.
Brought it wide.
And that's why he was on. He had a player, Renmark player out in the half-forward flank all on his own.
It's Harrison Brown.
Shoots it back to Austin.
Oh, and a loose player for the Rovers in the pocket. That's
Wolford.
Matt Wolford.
That's Wolford. He's gone from the full back line, picked up a couple posies on the way down. He's too far out to kick a goal. Who will he find?
Chips over the top. Small kick.
I reckon he's found Dane Austin, has he?
Dane. It is
Yeah,
Dane. 24. Yep.
Who kicked a goal. He's a left footer in what you consider the wrong pocket. So, okay, siren's gone to end the third quarter. Dane Austin to shoot for goal after the siren. He kicked Renmark's last goal from the same spot with no trouble at all, Lockie. Can you see him?
Just one goal the margin at the moment. He can't go offline, otherwise it's play on and it's done.
He didn't last time. He just slotted it with a little bit of right to left.
Dane Austin, 3/4 time.
He's hit the top of the goalpost.
He had the celebration.
That has hit the top of the goalpost. It's landed on the top.
A minus score. It could be handy, though. It takes the margin out to 7 points at 3/4 time. This is 5 football. We are going to go back to the studio and find out what's happening around the place, and then back for a big fourth quarter. Trevor, back to you. Action, 3 big games going on, and this one, Nobby, certainly filling all expectations at this stage.
It is, Lockie, and just quickly for those joining us, goal kickers for Renmark, Declan Johnson with 2, Nathan Zernick with 2, singles to the coach Josh Vader, Jared Rowe, Dan Wolford and Dane Austin, who just lobbed that last one on top of the post. Otherwise he too would have had 2 goals. For Loxton North, multiple goal kickers, Justin Proud with 2, Ryan Proud in his 300th game with 2, including a very important one to stop the Renmark run in that quarter. Singles to Scott Lewis, Thomas Leftheriadis and Kai Filkey. I won't go through the good players because there are so many on both sides, but I will point out that I think Scurry at the moment is the difference. The two sides, he's doing a fair bit around the ground as well as in ruck. Can he do it for 4 quarters? That's the question. If he can, Renmark will probably run out winners here. It's a game that's in front of Loxton North to take if they're hungry enough. Renmark led by 5 points at quarter time, trailed by 5 points. Loxton North led by 5 points at half time. Renmark find themselves 7 points in front and running the last quarter.
You know, the last time Panthers beat the Rovers, Nobby?
When was it?
What year do you reckon it was?
Oh, here we go. How many picks?
Oh, well, it was a
2015?
No, a bit newer than that. 2017 was the last time.
Okay, I only went 15 because that's the last time they won the flag.
Today going to be the day.
Well, it's here. It's all in front of them. Home ground. Ryan Proud's 300th. Capacity crowd in. Here we go.
Umpire throws the ball up. Chirping at Guthrie. It's been a good battle so far, but Guthrie got the tap and managed to get another second dig at it. But Joel Westfold for the Panthers managed to get in there as well, and we'll stop and reset. Go again.
Look, I'm wondering if Sherpick, with his younger legs and his spring, can start getting over Guthrie. Standing next to him, he won't body on body, but running at him, he might.
Good tap from Guthrie forward. Found Harrison Brown. He's had a pretty good game today, but didn't go too far after that.
Yep.
So another ball up.
Sherpick almost handled the ball. Westfold reading it off Guthrie. Shooting it forward for Loxton North to Coney. Nice mark under pressure. And he's around and off.
Great mark.
Gives Ryan Proud, gives Scott Lewis the run of the ball. And he takes an easy chest mark, 40 metres out?
Be kicking from, all of 40 and a bit.
Yeah.
So kicking now to the town end, Loxton North.
It's an important kick for the Panthers.
Currently trail.
It'd test him. It'd be the limit. Although there's no breeze, it's dropped right off.
Ball on the way.
Distance not the problem. Accuracy not the problem. That's a goal.
And the Panther fans know it. And they all get around Scott Lewis.
And that's his second goal of the game and first of the last quarter, which brings the margin back to 1 point only in the Renmark Rovers' favour on the Aquatic Weed Control Australia scoreboard.
It could be a thrilling 4th quarter, and we've talked about it. And at this stage, it looks like it's going to be that. Panthers, as you said, Nobby, all in front of them. They've got this young side. They've managed to take down some other giants this year. They beat Wakery a couple of times. They've got Metro and Barmer.
You can see why I've got these two teams seeded 1 and 2, can't you?
Renmark is the final frontier for the Panthers this year.
Early days.
Still got one more game between these two sides.
Sherpick getting his hand up there and a second tap out and winning that one. Centre bounces. He has the advantage of running and jumping over him. Kent out. Westfold drives it forward. Ooh, almost to Coney. Couldn't quite stretch out to it.
Scott
Here it
is.
is.
There.
Kent.
Coney back in there. Managed to shake the tackle. Handballs to Lewis. Handball over the top to Kudra. Kudra shot on goal. That's the Panthers' second this quarter.
Lockie, in that play phase, there's a couple of things I noticed, even before it happened, and it was the fact that Scott Lewis looked over his shoulder before he even got possession and knew where Alec Kudra was. Kudra's best behaviour is he stayed out there. He didn't chase the ball in. He stayed wide and gave Lewis the option. As soon as Lewis got it, he was going out there. And it was going out there quick, and Kudra was on his own, and he held position. And that's just as important, to be disciplined and hold position than run in and chase the kick.
9-4-58, Loxton North leading Renmark. 53 on the Quake Weed Control Australia scoreboard.
What a game.
8-5-53 Renmark. Yeah, it's a thrilling contest this afternoon. The sun now behind the clouds again. We saw it peek through just before. Looks like we've lost the footy. Oh no, coming back, which is always a good thing here. Couple of goal of the day contenders for Surf to Suit Loxton. No shortage of those. Also mark of the day for Grower Services Riverland. It's going to be a tough one to pick that today.
Yeah, it is. I'm almost backing in, believe it or not, the Mark Thomas left there us took down here in the third quarter, only because it was so much under pressure and ended up resulting in a goal.
So ball back in the centre.
Sherpick up again. Here's Kudra. Out with the ball to Worsfold. Worsfold becoming critical in there.
Brown back to
1%er from Kudra. Smothers at Lelman, but Lelman gets it back.
Takes the ball wide. Ooh, Austin flew up. He couldn't mark it. Ball right in front of the Panther supporters.
Well, I think the umpire just saved Jack Oates from holding the ball there because he was off.
So
however, he wasn't. He must kick forward by Jack.
Down the line, but it was intercepted by the Rovers there. It was Lelman again on half back. Brings the ball to the centre.
Here's Dan Wolford. She was off he goes, plays on, runs wide. Trevor Thorpe running wide on the wing, takes a bounce.
He's got a paddock, Trevor Thorpe. Looks up to the 50. Kicks to the middle, taken after, and that's going to be a free kick.
I think
Tyson Kent was in there for the Panthers.
Well, Kent's always hard at the ball, but I think Trev might have put a little bit of mayo on that.
A free kick for the Rovers in the 50.
Take a bit more than that to take Trev Thorpe out of the game.
Rovers better be careful if they don't lose it.
Yeah. So, having a shot on goal, Nathan Zunic lining up for his third.
He doesn't miss one from here.
No.
This, put it in the book now.
Well, okay, Lockie, you're trying to put the curse on him, I know that.
He doesn't miss goals.
You're right again.
And the Rovers return serve.
That's his third goal, Nathan Zunic. So you'd say definitely the most effective forward in terms of scoring. And, good value for shots, Nathan Zunic. As you said, Lockie, doesn't miss too many. Look, undisciplined effort there from Kent, really, but there wasn't much in it.
That brings the Rovers now back in the front by 1 point.
Probably more importantly was the overlap by Thorpe, and looks like Thorpe is lined up on Ron Proud.
Yep, looks like that.
And that's the obviously the play is had run off Proud and try and create havoc. Hello, Sherpick up, doesn't quite get a handle on it.
Worst fault. Eckerman now trying to hunt the footy. The ball now
lovely
on
pick
Vader
up
off
by
half
Vader.
forward. Kicks into the 50. Roy wasn't able to mark it. Can the Panthers this? Beswick tried to take him on. Got a handball loose. The Stockman now kicks to the square, but no one home.
North with the numbers here. Vumar drives out of half back for Loxton North. Looking for Kudra all on his own out in the wing. Only needs a little bit of room to move. Watch him get this back. No. Now. Get it back now. Here he goes.
Ryan Proud flew up for the mark. Oh, it's been
handball out to Matt. Matt shoots it across to Dan. There we go. We got the trifecta at last.
Oh, Wesley, great closing speed. Holds the footy in.
That was the Wolford trifecta, but it was no dividend because Wesley shut it down. Yeah.
So a ball up after Wesley managed to hold that one in. Tom Lefty trying to dives on the footy and rakes it in, and we'll get another ball up.
Great contest around the footy.
Just over 7 minutes gone, fourth quarter.
1 point the difference in Renmark's favour here in the last quarter. Ball shoots forward. Thorpe again down the ground. He's turned it on. He's wound the clock back.
Kicks into the 50.
Shoots it over the top to...
Stockman, that is.
Yeah, who'd worked his way down ground, was all on his own. arrived there without an opponent and has taken a chest mark 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. We're sitting right behind this Lockie.
Great mark from Stockman there. Just read it beautifully.
I've got a feeling this might just drift wide to the right. Unless he's had a bit of practice up this end, he might not quite realise what you've got to do to kick a goal from here.
See, Trevor Thorpe's is sitting out the back here. Is he getting ready for the run-around handball here?
No. Stockman needs to aim this at the left-hand goalpost and just let it work back.
Kicks from 50. I think he gave it a bit too much
far
there,
left.
the head start. Oh, they all flew up. No one able to mark it.
Hello, a little bit going on in there, a little bit of I haven't met you yet, I'll just come in and say hello.
There is a bit of feeling out there today. Whoa.
Jack Meaney, eh? Youngest bloke out there, he's not shy.
I tell you what. Oh, it's
He's not
this
shy.
is yeah, okay. Just watching what's going on behind play for a second here. I reckon there'd be a few coaches having a bit of a look at that too. So,
what do you think about a player trying to appeal for a free umpire? Is that just as bad as dissent?
nearly.
Yeah, I'm thinking that.
So the Panthers
chain of
now
handballs out of half
clear
back
out.
goes Kent. Drives the ball up to the centre wing. Ryan Proud closing, almost mark of the day. Gets hold of the footy, gets around one. No one to go to, so he looks up, goes short, kicks to Scott Lewis on the half forward. Wheels around. He's got Coney sitting all on his own. Bit of front on contact there.
They all dive on it, holds it in. The ball in the 50 still, but no free kick to the Panthers.
I think the umpires decided I'm going to let them play on here. No one loses their head.
No one in the ruck wanted it. Ball didn't go too far and we'll go again. There is some feeling out there this afternoon. Renmark lead by a point. This is an epic game, Riverland football. Just short of 10 minutes played. Rovers trying to clear it out of defence. They didn't get anywhere. We'll go again.
This is Loxton North's strength. Pressure up the forward line, trying to hold the ball in and deny Renmark that ability to rebound.
Ball up again. Gartree did the ruck work, got it to Wolford. Out to the other Wolford. There's three of them out there today.
Here's Shapley. He's had a great game. Unfortunately put that one down, but backing up Wesley. Shoots the handball out to Kent. Kent finding on a lead. Justin Proud, who pulls one in. Second bite. Hard lead at the football.
Just a thought, Nobby.
Hello.
Haven't seen Josh Nelson much today, have we?
No, I think his effect on the game, even he's not on field at the moment.
No.
His effect has been limited today. Normally picks up a lot of loose ball, but he looks like he might have had someone on him all day. Proud from the forward pocket. Doesn't quite. Whoa! There is the Grower Services Riverland mark of the day, and it's Thomas Eleftheriadis. Dylan. Sorry. And I had him down as already being in front for the mark at half foot up in. He's done it again.
Dylan Lefty. Ball on the way.
And converts.
And the Panthers hit the front again.
By 5 points.
Wow.
What a game. Not over yet.
They call it game of the day for a reason at 5am football. And this is certainly it.
Stay tuned in, folks. Much more to happen here today.
And the Panthers take the lead.
Yeah, look, you know, this is a really good game of footy in a whole lot of reasons. And regardless of the result, I'm thinking that the Panthers will come away from this a little bit wiser, a little bit more experienced playing against the 3-time RFL premiers, like Renmark. And I'm just looking up at guys like Jack Minnie, big wrestle in the back pocket, the under-18 player. He comes out saying, I'm up to this. I can do this. I'm here. And I feel like the others will gain from that sort of experience. Very, very pleased with Dylan Eleftheriadis' game today, Lockie. He has been all over them.
10-4-64, Loxton North leads Renmark, 9-5-59 on the Aquatic Week Control Australia scoreboard. Just short of 12 minutes played, ball in the centre, let's go again.
Sherpick, first hand of the ball, he's starting to jump over Gartery in the middle.
It's the Rovers that managed to get the clearance.
Speaking of Meaney, there he was, right with his player.
There's Vumart again, down the wing, good kick,
Kudra out
finds
that wing.
Kudra. Decided against playing on.
He's looking better. Since they've moved him out of the middle and onto the wing, he's given them a lot more drive. Not having to worry about his direct opponents quite so much.
Kudra on the western wing. There's a loose footy. It's Kent. Runs over the painted 50.
Misses.
Shot on goal.
Didn't like
missed
it.
The lot. Oh, minus score.
Look, that was a brilliant handball from Scott Lewis there. He just shifted that ball out in front of him, and away they went.
Now, you don't like to use the term handy point, Nobby, but that brings it back to a
They're all handy, Lockie.
6-point lead.
Yep. Hey.
Means the Rovers have got to get 2 scores to win now.
Yes, absolutely. A great game. I think it might come down to who gets the opportunities and who takes them. Because that was an opportunity. Had that been taken, you'd say, well, hang on, North are on their way. Here's Sherpick in field play.
Great mark.
And out marks Gartery in front. See, the young fella, he has not thrown in the towel. He's still having a dip.
Kicks into the 50. Oh, Justin Proud. The full forward revelation of the last 3 weeks for the Panthers.
And there's a bit of local knowledge. There's a bloke that's played looking into the sun all his career here at Loxton North. Didn't bother him. He was staring straight into that big yellow beast. He caught the red thing in between.
He kicked 2 at the Lakeside 3 weeks ago. He slotted 5 last week here. And today. Can he put another one in the book? The number 10 for the Panthers, Justin Proud.
Touched. Didn't quite get the legs. That'll happen to you. That'll happen in the last quarter when you've been running all day like he has.
So Justin Proud still just with the 2 goals today.
Heck of a game, Lockie.
Panthers now lead by 7.
I'm going to have to go down home for a cup of tea and a lie down after this. This is a fair income game.
14 minutes played, 4th quarter. Riverland football on 5RM.
Fist out by Adam Wesley. Out comes Worsfold again with the footy. Geez, that's some important touches. Opes moved forward, or followed his man forward.
Jack Opes.
Out comes Coney. Gee, was he had a fair income go this quarter.
Holding the ball.
Tried to do a bit much with it. Umpire Golding having none of that play to advantage. Once he'd blown that whistle up loud and wanted him back behind the mark. Fair enough too.
So the Rovers now with the footy on halfback. Small kick up the line. Finds
Austin.
Jack Austin.
He's a long way from goal. Turn around. There he is. Dylan Leftheriadis again.
Intercept from Dylan Lefty, but he got told to play on. Kicks into the 50. No one home for the Panthers.
Towards Proud. Who's
Kudra paddles it forward. Can he keep working this one forward? No.
Gee, a lot of pressure on here. Both sides.
Now Eckerman. Got to say, the Panthers look hungry.
Can they maintain that hunger for the rest of the quarter? Renmark bringing the ball out of defence. Leftheriadis again in the contest. Kent shoots it out. Ball coming across ground to Jack Opes. Didn't make it to him. And here goes Dane Austin. Shoots the ball out.
Handball to Shapley. Shapley for the Panthers got in there. Managed to halt proceedings. Beswick had the footy, but he got up.
Westfold. Great second half by him. Quickly, son. Not quick enough. Jack Meaney and caught for holding the ball by Tim Wolford. Wrapped him up. Shoots the ball out wide. Looking for his wraps.
Kudra had the pressure on there.
Back. Handball out to Shapley. Got a great game in defence. Shrugs off his Renmark opponent. Looks up and finds Joel Worsfold, who is working his way up the best player list.
16 and a half minutes played on the Murray Pest Control clock. 4th quarter action. Down
the line goes Worsfold. Straight to Zach Garter. You've got to keep it away from that big fella, yep. Loxton North, he has been a dominant player today for Renmark.
Panthers still lead, 66 plays 59.
Looks short, cut out by Leftheriadis and plays on for Loxton North. Driving it forward to Proud, sitting at the back all on his own and takes a chest mark. Has Justin running past, takes a bounce, takes a second bounce.
The 300 gamer.
And
he's done it.
That's his 3rd goal for the day.
Nice little shepherd there from cousin Justin.
Look, that was really good play from 2 players who've played a lot of those 300 games together. And you saw what Justin did. He kept running and creating that loose man. Gave Ryan the opportunity to go with the ball. And Ryan would have slipped it over to him. He needs it.
As extend. He's had 17 and a half. 4th quarter. The Rovers still rallying hard.
Yep. Look, it's a great game of footy, Lockie.
We've never seen a game this year that's had so many lead changes, Nobby.
No.
That's a fact.
Have you been counting them?
Well, I don't know if I could have.
Anyone at home that's been watching it, that's been putting them down, you can text us.
There'd be at least 5 or 6 today.
Yeah, at least.
At least, yeah. Which, I mean, doesn't sound like a lot, but a lot more than we've had in recent weeks.
Sherbick up again. Breaks even this time with Gartery. Like, Gartery's had a great game, but you've got to give a little bit of credit to the young fella for keeping coming. And now when his younger legs, got that spring. But Gartery this time with a big fist towards goals. Unfortunately, a high tackle slipped up from Boomard over the neck of Mitchell Jenkins. He's had a fair game as well. Everyone's done a bit. It's pretty hard to find good players here today. Dan Wolford out on his own. And he has the ability to do that.
And the Panthers lead by 13. But it's the Rovers with the footy on half full. Good kick
Short
up.
Kick to
from
Declan
Wolford.
Johnson.
Johnson, who's been a
Him and Shapley have had a great duel. I rate his game today. Shapley chipping in. Oh, almost. Out the back goes Kent. Handball. Worsfold, Kudra.
Oh, good tackle from Rowe, but managed to keep it in. The Rovers now looking dangerous.
That's the way Loxton North play, though.
Thomas Austin gives it a 9-9. Vader was underneath it, but he couldn't mark it, and the Panthers take it out of bounds.
Lovely spoil from Adam Wesley. He does the 1%ers.
Every time the Rovers are looking dangerous, Panther defenders, it might not look pretty, but they're getting it done.
So 14-point margin on the Aquatic Week Control Australia scoreboard to Loxton North. You'd think one more for them probably does it. Renmark get the next goal. It's still game on.
Still deep in Rovers' attack. Another ball up is what we're going to get. It's a thriller at Panther Park this afternoon. 19 and a half minutes played.
How's the Murray Pest Control clock going there, Lockie?
Just making sure it's got the batteries.
Well, 6 minutes left in playing time. So plenty of time for either side to win this game. But I can't help but think, should Loxton be able to squeeze one more in, you'd say it'd be hard for them to lose. So plenty of time for them to kick the 2 goals, 2 points they need to overcome the home team.
Ball up on the...
Gee, what a cracking advertisement for Riverland football, eh?
Rucks go at it again. No one able to take it out, and we will run up the goal again. The Panther defence around the stoppages has been evident this afternoon.
Are you thinking minors lights for all players at the moment? It's getting a bit tough to see.
Gartry taps over the back. I heard the call, but no one was there. Scott Lewis ran through a wall, but taken to ground.
I'm thinking this is, if Loxton North run out winners here, the difference will be their discipline around the packs to get themselves between their player and Gartery to stop him from giving them easy access. Out comes the ball from Kudra that time, I think. Sitting under it, Thomas left there out again. Hadn't he played some sort of a game in this second half across half forward?
Yeah.
He's been their avenue through forward lines.
See you up there in your best, Nobby.
He's in players from both sides. When you got Jack again in the back play, drives it forward.
Takes the ball back.
Just misses Cooper out on the wing. And that'll go back for a free kick to Renmark, right in front of Worstie's bar. How much advice do you reckon the Renmark player might get here?
Oh, it's all free as well.
Yep.
11-6-72, Loxton North.
Like Jared Rowe brings the ball back down ground. Look, that'll suit Loxton North. That down the line play near the boundary line. They'll be happy with that.
It's North with a small lead in this late stage of this game.
It's when Renmark bring the ball down the middle that they look so dangerous.
So a ball then just outside the Rovers attacking.
Sherbick
50.
again in ruck. Muscled his Renmark opponent out of the way then.
Didn't go too far. Dylan Lefty playing the game of his life today at Loxton North. Handball over the
Lewis.
top. Finds Ryan Proud.
Kudra trying to make something.
Now Lewis, centre wing, brings it back inboard, looking for a target. No one to mark it. The Rovers off half back through Vader, get the kick away. He brings it now inboard to Johnson. One of the Rover better players today. He's going to get it back here again.
Clever play by Matt Wolford.
He's got a paddock.
Chips it out to Declan Johnson, gives him some space. Hitting the ball, Jack Austin. Brings it in on the third grab. Been a good contest between those two blokes. Neither of them having too much effect on the ball. How well has this young fella gone today, Shapley?
Zunic was the target.
And shut down the dangerous Dan Wolford too.
The Rovers have been serving up. The Panthers have somehow
under 3 minutes.
an answer.
Under 3 minutes to go. Renmark needing 3 goals to win. You'd think almost Lockie using the Lee Matthews rule.
A minute ago,
what a game.
Kent right out of the pack. Phil Gamer. Back to Tom Eleftheriadis with a new haircut today. Kicks it inboard. Scott Lewis couldn't get it. Josh Vader managed to. Scott Lewis trying to wrap up Vader, but Vader managed a couple more paces. It's still in the 50 for the Rovers.
Good work by Jack Opes there. Hit the ball hard, met it. Out and then gets it in the back play. Off he goes out the wing, Jack Opes.
Jack
drives
Opes,
it up
the
to the
Mindering
wing.
Express, they call him.
Cut off this time, but it's 4 kicks from the goal, up on centre wing, back into Lelman in the centre. He comes across to Harrison Brown. Drives it in again for Renmark.
Gartree couldn't mark it. Bull spools over the back. And this will go out of bounds through Vumard.
Do you know what? I think at the end of the day here, and he's had a great game, Zach Gartree, but he's run out of gas. And why wouldn't you rucking four quarters? And all of a sudden, Sherpick has kept going. The younger legs, he's had a bit of an effect in this last quarter.
It must be said too, Sherpick has had a bit of help through Hampel and a few others.
Yeah, here comes Kudra on this wing this time. Gives it, wants it back. Left there out, sells it. Sells the hand, turns it on his left side, kicks his right foot. Here's Coney.
Coney takes it inboard to the centre, finds Scott Lewis.
Gee, they just keep going, don't they?
On the side of the former cricket pitch at Loxton North.
Lewis finds Kudra, comes back to the ball. Kudra takes the mark at half forward, 60 metres from goal. On with it. Wheels across, looking deep for Ryan Proud. Is there more in this for him?
Oh, fine. Tom Eleftheriadis.
That's hit him in the breadbasket, right in front of goal. 20 yards out, 30 yards out, Max Lockie. And I'm thinking if I'm Tom Eleftheriadis, I'm taking 30 seconds because there's less than a minute left in this game.
He's come back a long way like a...
Loxton North leading by 14 points, less than a minute to go. Tom Eleftheriadis pokes it up and kicks the sealer.
And you'd have to say it's been the Panthers' day.
That's his second goal of the game. What a great effort by him. Look,
12-6, 78 leading the Renmark Rovers, 9-5-59.
This will leave my seedings exactly where they are, but I haven't plugged it into the machine yet. But you wouldn't lose your top seeding when you beat the second seed.
As the sun sets at Loxton North.
Half a minute to go here on the Murray Pest Control clock.
We haven't seen much of the sun today. I was wondering the lights might have been on by now, but they've stayed off for the time being.
No worries, team at Murray's on their clock today. There's only half a minute of that clock left.
How about tinted windows here at Loxton North, so maybe it might be a bit lighter out there.
Sherpick gets his hand on the ball for the last tap out. Out it comes Deckman. Down he goes.
Kent chasing the footy hard. Rovers in there as well. Can the Rovers have one last ditch? You'd have to think.
Vader again trying to get the ball forward. Here comes Beswick.
Beswick off half back.
Without ball goes to Gartree, who slams it forward.
Kicks into the defence.
Punched out by Jack Meany. Courageous effort by the young fella and a cool head in defence.
Great bit of work from Jack Opes. They call him the Mindery Stampede sometimes, Nobby.
Yep. Is that right? Well, that's it.
Full time at Loxton North. The Panthers defeat the Rovers for the first time since 2017. And it's a memorable day for a couple of reasons. Ryan Proud's 300th game for the Panthers. He celebrates with a win. 12 goals. 6. 78 to the Renmark Rovers. 9-5-59. We'll take a quick break at 5 footy. When we return, we will have our wrap-up of what's been a big day of footy. Trevor, back to you in the studio.